Last night, it was a tough evening of sports watching for those of us in Indianapolis, Indiana, as the Pacers traveled back to Madison Square Garden to take on a Knicks team that they just smacked in the mouth on Mother's Day, and they would go on and lose by 30. Okay, so now the Knicks and the Pacers will do battle on Friday here in Indianapolis, Indiana, and if Big Dale Davis is revving the engine before that game starts, we all know what's going to take place, and that's a Game 7 back in New York, which seems to be an impossible place to play.
Yep.
Now let's go away from the NBA. Let's go to the W. Well, everybody's watching the WNBA game last night. Why is that? Well, Caitlin Clark is making her debut for the Indiana Fever. And I know there's WNBA enthusiasts and people that have been watching the W for years and years, and that particular league certainly deserves a lot more love and has deserved a lot more love than it has gotten over the entirety of its existence. The rookie salary is only $78,000. That's less than an entry salary at this particular company, so we don't love that is certainly the case for the WNBA, but can't wait to watch it continue to grow and continue to build, and more superstars coming out of college women's basketball going into the W to make it a sport that'll be able to be heralded as one of the top 5, top 6 leagues in the United States of America. We're on our way there.
Oh, yeah.
And then Isaac Bennett, this little rat bastard piece of shit, wanted to make the whole thing about himself. Gives Caitlin Clark 2 phantom fouls early, 2 calls early. She had 10 turnovers. Yeah, she's playing with 2 fouls literally since the first 2 minutes of the game because some asshole wanted to say, this ain't how college basketball, this is the WNBA. Welcome to my league. Then people talking about, well, she didn't play that great. She was like 3 shots away from having 30 in her debut. Most 3-point shots made in the history of the WNBA in a debut performance. And this is, I think your microphones are all on in the back. We can hear everything you're saying. You guys are doing great work back there, though I want you to know that. Caitlin Clark gets her first points after a steal, has a layup. And I'll say this about Caitlin Clark's debut. She has enough speed. She has enough intelligence. She has enough ability. And her 3 ball started hitting a little bit later than everybody expected because she had a couple step backs in the first quarter that didn't fall. She had a runner in the first quarter that didn't fall. She had another close one that didn't fall. Those all rattle home. She had 32 points. That's what she would have had. Instead, she had 20 and a loss. And I learned from watching this, and even though I live in the great city of Indianapolis and a great state of Indiana, that Fever team was 13-27 last year.
Yeah, they stunk.
They had the #1 overall pick for a reason. I didn't know. As I was watching, I was thinking to myself, well, no, we're not just going to go win this whole thing. I was sitting next to the Las Vegas Aces, the back-to-back champions, at the NBA All-Star Celebrity Game, and I was looking them right in their face. Didn't know who they were. Right in their face, I was saying, it's over. Good luck. Have you seen what she did at Iowa with a team that we didn't think, necessarily had as many superstars as some other college basketball teams? Once she gets into the WNBA, playing with these WNBA players, it's only going to be a matter of time before the Fever might take a little bit.
Sure. Just a bit. No doubt.
The Aces maybe win another one.
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I might have been speaking out of pocket. I might not have known exactly what I was talking about. But what I saw last night is Caitlin is going to figure it out.
Yes.
Okay. Boston has 1-2. They're going to be phenomenal. I like the way Aaliyah Boston's talking to her going into halftime. It does feel like a good relationship. But a lot of things are going to have to change on that Fever team. Okay. We're going to have to realize that we got the one. And let's start doing it. A lot of things are going to have to change.
Changes at the top.
Yeah.
Well said, Tony.
That's one half of the hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys, Tone Diggs. One game. We're one game into this. Talks the tables here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. I know everybody in Iowa was watching that game last night.
Yeah,
I was watching that game last night. As soon as she went to the bench with 2 fouls after missing a couple shots, everybody changed the channel. I assume the ratings are going to go, boom. They were playing in a building that hadn't been sold out for the Sun since 2003. Why were they doing that? Why was that happening to the people that hate Caitlin Clark? Why do you think that building was sold out?
Double deuce.
Bingo! Bingo! Oh, they're playing in bigger arenas whenever the Fever come to town. Why is that?
Double deuce.
Oh, bingo! Did anybody tell Isaac Bennett, the ref, that called 2 phantom calls? She was the only one that had any fouls. And they were bullshit calls to start this entire thing. So I don't think it was necessarily the dream start for Caitlin Clark or for the Fever. But there's going to have to be some figuring out that I guess takes place that I could never account for because, once again, I've never watched a WNBA game, even though I assumed I had it figured out, which is part of the problem.
Yeah, hand up. I had not either. Okay, but I am.
It's a different sport than women's college college basketball. I'll let you know, I love women's college basketball.
Listen, I could watch Iowa women's basketball play.
Blooter ball.
Yeah, exactly. 7 days a week. And I don't want to get on here. I mean, you mentioned it. We're one game into the season, okay? So we should pump the brakes a little bit, but that's not what we do. We tend to come in and overreact because we're passionate fans.
That's right.
Okay? We love our Indiana Fever.
That's right.
We love them.
Yes, we do.
And I love Caitlin Clark, okay? So I just want to say we may need to consider a coaching change.
Bingo. What?
I'm not. Listen,
The first game?
First game back.
First game?
We're less than 8 hours removed from the first game.
If you watch that Iowa team, they are run and gun. They just up and down the court, up and down the court.
Three-quarter length court passes.
Exactly. We're trying to get as many buckets and as many shots up as possible. And then I see the Fever last night, just this slow, methodic pace, you know. Listen, Coach Bluter just retired, okay? The winningest coach in women's Big Ten history. I don't know. Does she maybe want to come up to Indiana, you know, and coach Caitlin?
Bring in Bluter.
I'm just saying.
Could you imagine how pissed everybody would be?
God, yeah.
Everybody would be so mad. Oh, Caitlin Clark, she's like LeBron, huh? Just gets coaches fired. That's what happens in there. And I'm not going to – I don't think that's the case. I don't even know our coach's name.
Me neither.
She's doing great.
I'm just bullshit.
It's not Lisa Bluter.
Okay. Certainly, we've seen Caitlin play in Bluter ball.
Exactly.
And it was electrifying. Kept me on literally the edge of the seat for the entire game.
Yeah.
Last night was tough. You know, that was tough. I think we're all going to have to get used to a brand new style of women's basketball. Obviously, there's somebody on the Sun became the 5th leading scorer in the history of the league last night. Yeah. We're smooth. We're talking about there's some bucket getters on that other team that I've never heard of.
There are a lot of good players in the W.
They're very talented.
Which we're finding out, you know, as we go along here as new fans of the W.
As season ticket holders, multiple of us on this stage for the Indiana Fever. We were watching that game last night, and we're excited to be along for the journey.
Can't wait.
We go from 13-27 last year. Did we know that was the record?
No. I should have known. We had the #1 pick, but
we didn't know how.
Where we
we got a little bit to go.
Yeah.
Seems like we got a little bit to go.
That ref has to go. If you're commissioner of the Dub, that ref has to go. That's worst case scenario in the debut of Caitlin Clark is to give her 2 quick fouls. That cannot happen, no matter what.
2 quick bullshit fouls.
Yeah,
terrible ones.
Like not even like the one she must have got her in the head, and then they said replay. No, I don't think she even touched that girl. Okay, so the first call, you just want to get one out. You want to make a call. You're a ref. Now, not like what's going on in the NBA, you know, where Scott Foster and Tony Peters think the people are out to watch them play a game out there. And then let alone what happened in hockey. We're going to have an official state of the officials here in a matter of like 20, 30 minutes or so to really break down what's going on with these refs all of a sudden. And I think it will kind of echo the sentiment of what Roger Goodell said whenever we and others have pressed him about having full-time refs. He said, well, I've seen what full-time refs do in these other leagues, and are they perfect? At all. You tell me. No. We're trying to get better, he said. We're trying to utilize technology, but also we don't know if just full-time is the right answer because some of these other leagues have full-time, and they seemingly are assholes. Not all of them. There's always good refs. But seemingly Isaac Bennett, we need his ass kicked out off the tour.
Now.
Kicked off the tour. 12-year NFL vet. A man who only played corner. Now, a rapper with a new song debuting in 6 days. Ladies and gentlemen, Pac-Man Joe.
Yeah.
Pac, you watch much WNBA before this season? Do you know much about it?
No, only college.
Yeah,
now
me
I'm
too.
watching WNBA.
Me too. So
but the game is a lot slower than college. Like
it is.
It's like a pro game. It's not going out there doing no huddle. College women basketball is like no huddle college football. WNBA is like the pros. Yeah. You're going to slow the shit down and we're going to work on sets and try to get the matchup.
13-27 is 40 games, okay, if we're doing math. How many games are the college women?
That. Yeah, probably about. Yeah, I think.
Well,
I
what was South
Iowa
Carolina?
went, I think, 33-5 last year.
Because some people, we're talking making the football reference. I thought about this last night, literally, because like Chip Kelly comes into Philly, tries to do what the college thing does. Not going to work. Longer season. Like, hey, you're not going to be able to get adults to do this. 35-year-olds to be able to do this for 17 weeks, then playoffs plus preseason. Like college is shorter. You got younger, but everything like that. It's like same amount of games as college. Somebody could come in there and run no huddle. It seems like I don't know if that's what the
more
ACC
talent. NBA more talent. I mean, WNBA more talent.
See, I saw
college
Caitlin.
than NFL. NFL, you got 56 dogs.
Yeah.
In college, you might got 2 dogs.
Yeah, you're talking about more talent. I saw somebody try to catch a 3-quarter pass. It threw hands, ball and face, ball go out of bounds. It's like, I didn't see any of that tonight. Well, I don't know what the hell's going on out here. So I think the Fever are only on the way up. But congrats to the Connecticut Sun on a big-time win in front of that home crowd.
They're a good team.
They are good team. They are a good team. They got scores over there.
Tough.
And, you know, those refs, you know, the Connecticut Sun also put Caitlin, I guess, into those positions to look like she potentially fouled, even though she didn't. So we got to give them credit for that. And we'll be keeping track of the entire WNBA
They'll
season.
figure it out.
Yeah, we paid a lot of money for those season tickets that I think have lost some value since last night. I'm telling you what, the first game, dude.
I looked on SeatGeek this morning. Yeah, you get some good prices.
I hope the Fever, they lost all faith in you after one game. There's people calling for coaching change.
Ridiculous.
Stack those chips.
Stack them up.
Stack those chips, Fever. It's our era. And also, let Caitlin cook.
Yeah. Need 23s from her a game.
Just let her, If she wants to pull up, let her. Who cares?
Come on, Lisa. Come home.
Yeah. You're calling for a coaching change after one game, and that's just our passion. But we will stick by this Fever team, won't we?
Without a doubt.
I was promised wins.
See, Tone might not.
They'll come, Tony. They'll come. Just give it time.
Right. One game.
Not only your NFL vet, a man who probably does know a little bit more about the WNBA than all the rest of us. He went to UConn, obviously. Ladies and gentlemen, Darius J. Ball. D-Butt, you followed the W before last night? Or
Yes. I had friends that have played in the W. Tina Charles, Bree Stewart, Renee Montgomery, so Maya Moore. You know, so I've obviously been following the league for a long time. Like, to your point, good team. Alyssa Thomas, think she may be third favorite coming in to be the MVP. Obviously, Asia Wilson out there, you know, who she had 30, 13, and 5 for her aces start. So some good teams out there, some talent. College ball, I feel like the talent is kind of more concentrated at the top. Like, it's much more top heavy. WNBA is more spread out. So it's definitely going to take some time. I think our win total is like 20 for the Fever going into this season. So that may have dropped a couple games.
That's not bad.
We shall see off our first performance. But Caitlin will definitely figure it out. It's a transition. Carrington was a great defender on her last night. She's going to see that. They're going to have a game plan for her every game out there. So obviously her and Leah Boston got to get going as well.
She had 10 turnovers, and they were...
That's a lot.
It is.
Yeah, that's a record, actually. It's actually a record.
People can't catch the ball. It's not her fault.
Yeah, she's also. We got no-look passes happening. You know, we got some magic cooking. And Caitlin said afterwards, you know, it's just one game. We got to move on and do this. And I assume she'll call it all a blur because everything. I mean, she sold out arena for the first. Justin Fields is dead.
No.
Justin Fields is dead.
It's bad omen.
Where's the whistle tip?
Bad omen.